Welcome friends, this is going to be a survival guide for Human Design Projectors. If you're a projector or you have a loved one who is a projector and you would like to know more, stay tuned. So what is a projector? So a projector is a kind of aura type you can see in your graphic from the Human Design chart that doesn't have a sacral defined and also doesn't have any of the motors, meaning the root, the solar plexus or the emotional center, or the ego connected to the throat. So this kind of people, I'm also a projector myself, we are very sensitive. This aura is very attuned and you can really tell what someone is about just by looking at them. We are very good at noticing things. We are very good at making processes more efficient, at making everything work better with less energy. But there's a caveat to this thing. It has to be invited. We cannot just be telling people around how they should do things. And if you have done that, if you have given someone unsolicited advice, you might have experienced already what it's like to be in projector bitterness or resentfulness. Maybe they don't even answer, you don't feel seen, they don't acknowledge your wisdom, and then you are like, I told you so, but they are still resisting and resentful against you as well. So the trick here is waiting for the invitation. This is the main strategy of the projector. You have to position yourself like you can still share posts and you can make videos or you can speak with people about things, but in the moment that you're trying to guide their energy, you can use your own energy for whatever you want. But when you want to guide someone else, you have to wait to be recognized. And the people will come to you. It's a mechanic. Like, people will recognize that you're very good at something and they will tell you like, hey, what do you think? Or can you help me with that? And then when you feel that recognition, and I'm sure you have felt it sometimes already, those people that are your people, the people that listen to you, that see you, those people, when they invite you, then you can bring all of your wisdom, all of everything that you've learned in your life, and all of your vision to make their lives better. But you have to wait for that invitation. And the whole waiting for the invitation thing can be really complex, and it's something you're going to have to experiment with over time. Now, another trait of the projectors is that since we have a penetrating aura and we have this capacity to see and go deep with things, we are also so much better on one-on-one relationships. Of course, we can be in a group, we can be extroverted if we want, but the tendency on projectors is to be a little bit more on the sensitive, introverted side and prefer one-on-one interactions. That is just the way that our aura works. So in this sense, you are the strongest when you are one-on-one. So you're always that friend that maybe there's a whole party and then you're just chatting with one person on the side, you know, or maybe you just prefer to go on dates or with friends, just one-on-one, just you and me. And you notice a big difference when you're in a group of people or when you're just with that person. It's like they see you and you can see them as well. And there's a lot more intimacy. So what I'm trying to say with this, you don't need to be completely isolated and only one-on-one with people, but that is your strong point. That is where you should focus your attention. One thing that is very important for projectors is the pacing. The energy that you have is different than most people. You're not a person that can be working a day job 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. Your energy system works in a different way. You have to become hyper aware of your battery. Imagine that you're a phone or any device and you have a battery meter. Whenever that battery is going down and you're about 30%, it's time for you to rest. You're not someone that can push through the tiredness because you're going to pay a price for that. It's going to come as burnout or resentfulness or bitterness, and you really cannot afford to go there. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the next tip. So my advice as a projector is for you to find a way in which you can work, but only a couple of hours a day and then take a break. Maybe a couple of hours next day and take a break. And don't think for this reason, because someone is a generator and they can work 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, they're going to go further than you because you're very efficient. You're a different kind of machine, let's say. So you are going to be able to figure out ways in which you can be super productive in chunks of time. And sometimes there's going to be transits or you're going to have people around and you're going to have more energy. And that's okay. You can use that energy. Sometimes I have a full week that I'm full of energy and I can go full force, like toe to toe with any generator. But then at one point you notice the cable is unplugged and your battery is starting to go down. And it's very, very important that the battery doesn't go red. Like, just stay in the yellow zone, 30%. You say like, okay guys, I go home, I need to rest. It's not advised for you to have many late nights or go to bed really tired. You want to go to bed way before you're feeling this extreme tiredness. And you're gonna see immediate results in your life, in the invitations that you attract, in your energy, in your mood, by following these pacing tips. Don't be afraid to take naps. If in the middle of the day you want to close your eyes and lie down, those power naps are a primordial part of my life, and they have saved me countless times. What I mean by this is that rest has to be considered productive. When you're resting, you're being productive. This is a change of paradigm in the mind of the modern person that is kind of obsessed with productivity and wants to be doing something all the time. You really have to shift that and know that when you're resting, you're integrating, you're absorbing the knowledge, you're regenerating from all the activity that you did before. Resting is productive. Whenever you're having downtime as a projector, that's great. Don't be guilty about it. Just enjoy that time. And whenever the energy and the inspiration come again, you start working again, or you start doing whatever it is that you were doing again. I will say it again, rest is productive. If you're a projector, you cannot afford to get bitter, because that will take away your power. That will take away the most important invitations that you can get. If you're bitter, resentful, cranky, nobody is going to be inviting you to bring your wisdom in. So it's very important for you to stay in your happy zone, in your harmonious zone. And that means not overworking, not overstressing, resting when you need to rest. Just stay in that harmonious place, whatever the price is. Sometimes maybe you cannot work for a week and you need to take that time out, or you do the bare minimum. Can even be for a longer period of time, can be 2 weeks that you have that you're just doing the bare minimum. And then the energy comes back, and in a rush of inspiration, your whole thing turns around, and you do some act of genius in maybe those couple of days that you have energy that maybe for a generator would have taken a year or two. Who knows? You know, this is how it works. You work in bursts of energy sometimes. So when you're in that harmonious zone, that is when the invitations come. When you're feeling in your power, when you're feeling centered as a projector, when you're relaxed and at rest and completely cool with being laid back, and you're like, and you watch something or you see someone doing something and they ask, oh, Luciano, how can I do this thing better or faster? This thing you have been studying. And then you just see it, and they see you in such a good mood and in such a whole vibration. It's like, yeah, this guy knows something, you know? And that's the way for us projectors. We are the guys that know something. This is the guy that is on the side at a party or something like that, and everyone's looking out, that's a mysterious person. They seem to have something in their hands, you know? This is the projector. It's a very magical kind of class of aura type, the projector. But we need to learn how to use it accordingly. We cannot follow the programming of working 24/7 like society wants you to work. You really have to change the paradigm. I invite you to work with people who recognize this, or to work by yourself. You cannot keep the pace of a manifesting generator or a generator. You have to be acknowledged for being someone that comes in, does the work efficiently, and comes out. You're kind of like a surgeon in that sense. You come in and then you come out, and you need to be very rested and whole for that. Those were my tips for projectors. Just to sum up, you have to wait for the invitations. You have a very penetrative, very wise aura, and you can see people. You do much better one-on-one than in groups. You need to rest. Allow yourself to take naps or take breaks whenever you need to, and then when your energy is restored, engage again. You cannot afford to get bitter. You cannot afford to get resentful or comparing yourselves with others and things like that. You are unique, and you need to measure yourself by your own standards. Another thing you can do if you want to study the human design system deeper is go into our online courses. I'm going to put a link in the description in which you can see all the courses that we offer, and it goes through the aura types, which are the projectors, manifestors, generators, manifesting generators, the authorities, which means how you make decisions in your life without using your mind, but just from your real authority according to your own personal chart. And also the centers. We talk a lot about the conditioning that the centers offer you in your chart. This means that, are you pressured to work? Are you pressured to achieve something? Are you a highly emotional person or not? Do you have a developed intuition? Or maybe you have an orderly, systematized mind, or maybe you're more forgetful. And this gives you permission to be yourself, allows you to say, oh, yeah, I've always felt like that. That is amazing. And you don't feel guilt or blame for being different. This is the true magic of the human design system. Additionally, I also have made these decks and cards. I'm going to show you a little bit more on the screen too. They have all of the centers with all of the information very condensed and very easy to study. There's one for human design and one for gene keys with all of the gates and the systems. It's also something very interesting. There's also a link below. And if you want to support the channel and me making more videos, I will be thankful if you buy one of those or share it with one of your friends who is interested. That was all for the video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe and like the video. See you soon with more Human Design and Gene Keys content.